Hey, welcome to Gracie Schwartzwald. I'm here with Erkan Mete. Today we're going to discuss a topic I think that's very important for self-defense. Self-defense and self-defense jiu-jitsu is not just a difference in a couple techniques, right? It's not just, you grab me in a headlock and I learn how to do a headlock escape and now I know self-defense. It's much more about strategy and tactics, right? Because certain things like if we're just grappling, right? I just do sport grappling. Am I okay being in this range?
Yeah.
What about in a fight, if I stand in this range, right? So training yourself to be at different ranges is hugely important. That's not something that you can just do in the spur of the moment. It's why I've seen so many videos of jiu-jitsu guys getting in street fights and where are their hands? They're down here, right? And then again, maybe they get blasted, maybe they get the takedown off, and they get taken down, and then maybe they pull off a lucky submission and everybody goes, oh, that's great jiu-jitsu. No, that's horrible jiu-jitsu, right? You got lucky. So one of the main things is, of course, distance management. We fight at different distances, right? Whether that's on the ground, I can't have the guy in my guard with halfway decent posture because I'm going to be eating punches. I got to clinch him. I got to frame and get away. And these are things that you have to train. Okay, so often if I'm trying to hit you and you can't be far enough away, where do you want to get to? Right? Tight end clinches, right? Because of two main reasons, right? You can smother the punches. I can smother the punches and options, and I can limit your options, and I can feel connection gives me predictability, right? So again, we've always done this experiment. You're touching my arm, and I try to punch you. You can block that. If you're not touching my arm, and you close your eyes, and you try to block this, you have no chance, right? So even just a simple touch will give you predictability. That's enormously important. That's why we get to the clinch, right? I can smother these things. I can predict his options, and I can limit his options. I can direct his options instead of just stand here in the pocket and throw punches. Okay, so now we talked about this briefly in another video, but there are fights that start with like, hey, put him up. But is this a self-defense situation?
Yeah, it's a fight.
It's a fight, right? Self-defense will often start with somebody here, right? Maybe push you. You're like, hey, I don't want any problem here. Here. And now you try to hit like a single leg, run the pipe. We're in a busy club. Are you going to be able to run this, do all of this?
Not really.
Not very likely, right? What's going to happen? We're going to get into all of this fighting here, right? So since that is what will happen, something I teach all the time is I train by priorities, right? Meaning, if let's say conservatively 50% of street fights that don't end in just one punch, how often will there be a headlock? Probably pretty often, right?
Very often.
So should you train headlock defense once a year?
No.
Right, you should train it a lot. How often in a street fight are you going to see a reverse Ashigirama to a heel hook?
Not that often.
Not that often. Should you train that every single class? Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Defending that every single class, right? So I'm not saying don't learn it all, right? But you should really focus on things that are going to be very likely to be in a fight. Punches, right? Headlocks, tackles, right? As well as getting yourself to positions of safety, right? And one of the best positions of safety is against clinching. Okay, now, there's 4 areas to clinch, right, of the body in my mind. You should be good at all 4 areas. Okay, you'll be better at some than others, but you're going to be good at all 4. And that is, I clinch the head, I clinch the body, I clinch the arms, or I clinch the legs. Okay, you want to be able to move through all 4 of those, but you also want to understand the advantages and disadvantages of all 4. Okay, so let's start with the body clinch. This is the one I think is the most important and effective, especially for beginners, especially from a self-defense situation, because one, it's one of the easiest to get to. If I'm here, it's very easy for me to grab his body. Okay. It allows me the most options as far as moving up and down his body, okay? It's hardest to break. When I grab you here for you to break my grip, because I'm able to really lock my whole arms around you, can be very hard, right? I can lift you, right? That's a big, big thing for me, okay? So getting the body clinch, for beginners, the body fold, the body hug, takedowns, all of these, very effective. And again, one of the main concerns for us is always dealing with punches, right? So if I'm in very tight, depending on where I'm at, it's hard for you to hit me with any power. Okay, and also depending on the kind of body hold I have, I can make it very hard for him to hit me with power. So what are some of the main body controls, right? Double unders, I'm under both arms, low or high. The over-under variations, I'm over and under one arm. It could be here directly in front. It can be into the side control, into a modified seat belt. I can be over his arms here, okay? I can be behind, over his arms, or under his arms. And again, these are very strong positions to pick somebody up and slam them from. So, especially for beginners, we teach a lot of getting to the body, working from there. You throw a punch, right? Boom. Working from here, hitting my takedowns. So you should really practice this. Again, I'm really focused on this version because I think it's the easiest for people and notice when I do this, did I have to go to the ground?
No.
Okay. A lot of the takedowns we do from here, do we go to the ground?
No.
Right? I can just body fold, leg hook, hip throw, sotogari, all of these things. Okay. So that is what I consider, again, your list may differ, but I consider going for body control to be your primary one from self-defense. Okay, now I'm going to go into what I consider the secondary strong control, and that is the head. Okay. Often people are untrained, they'll right away get your head. Right? And they think that that is a really strong control. Here's the truth, it is a strong control. The problem is I think it's a less strong control than the body. For if we're equally trained, maybe we don't know anything. So he grabs my head, can you pick me up? Mm-mm. Can I pick you up? Mm-hmm. Right, because you have access to from here up, mm-hmm. but I have access your entire body, okay? That said, the advantage, one of the great advantages when I control your head is when I can control your posture, right? I can put your head where I want it to be for damage, right? So, and it sets up a lot of submissions, a lot of takedowns. Again, I can maneuver him around very easily by controlling his head here. Okay, so let's talk about some of the kind of common head controls. First is just a standard headlock. Here, okay. Second one we call a single collar tie. Here, arm is inside, controlling the back of my neck. This can be very dangerous if he pulls me down to knees or guillotines or punches, any of these things. Here, double collar tie, is both. Here, okay. Front headlock, okay. So this is still a head control. He pulls me down. He's either got my arm in or just the neck. This is very dangerous, and again, untrained person will absolutely do this. Okay, from behind, he can come up and reach around my neck, and that he can set up a choke, but often he'll just lock his hands and maybe control my head here. Notice he can move me around very easily. So learning to fight, controlling the body and the head is a big part of our game here, because again, if you're throwing punches, I can get in here, I can control the head, I can control the body, here, snap them down, all of this. Instead of, again, me trying to hope for a takedown and getting punches. Okay, so that is our second control area. Now for our third control area, and that is the arms. This is something some of my students are very good at, something I preach a lot for military self-defense. And what the arm control gives me is one, of course, I dominate the clinches. So, you know, sometimes if I go here, can you grab my body? Mm-hmm. Yep. Or if I'm here, you grab me, we're both fighting in the same position, right? But if I'm controlling your arms, can you grab me the way you want to? Mm-hmm. Right? So it allows me to dominate who's controlling who. Not only that, but with certain controls with the arm, can I move you around? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go over some of the main controls here. One is just simple wrist controls, right? He comes out, he controls my wrists. Here, it could be 2-on-1s, 1-on-1s, all of these different grips. Very strong controls, okay? The other is he can do what we call a Russian 2-on-1. There's many variations of this. He can figure 4 this, he can do all of this, palm up, palm down, any of this. This is really strong because notice he's off at an angle. It's kind of hard for me to hit him. He can move me around a bit. Yeah, he can push and pull me around. These are really good for like escorting situations, right? I can move him around. Work takedowns. There's the kind of the opposite. Sometimes I'll just call it an arm drag position. So instead of being cross grip outside, I'm controlling, I'm here. This can be set up a lot of different situations. Here, going to throws, going to arm drags to the back. There's a whizzer where I have an underhook, but he comes up here. So it looks like I have control, but I really don't, because he's got this. He can use this for throws, a lot of things. There's double whizzers, where notice, if he went around my body, I would consider this a body hold. But if he actually just goes around my arms and locks his hands, he's actually controlling my arms, okay? And then from the back, it can be where he has wrist controls, or he goes over my arms and locks me here. In all of these situations, by controlling his arms, he's limiting my ability to either directly use my arms against him, clinch him, or get away easily, as well as being able to manipulate me. So, for instance, you see this, you know, in a self-defense situation, the guy grabs both my hands, you know, especially if I'm smaller. Can I hit you? Right? So he doesn't necessarily have to get to the clinch. And it's a good one. This is why, you know, a lot of martial arts will teach wrist grab escapes right away, because I can grab you from pretty far away, right? For me to get behind you and bear hug you, it's going to take a little bit of effort. So learning how to fight from the wrist, from the arm controls, really important. Also, by the way, notice with the arm controls, I can work into body controls, I can work into head controls, I can go back to arm controls. All of these you want to be able to flow from one to the next. And now we get into what a lot of people are taught when they come to learn takedowns in a jiu-jitsu class or wrestling class, and why I think a lot of people get scared away from learning takedowns, right? You come to takedown class, and what do you learn, right? Here, drop your level, shoot your double leg, shoot your single leg, and, you know, they're effective, but they take a long time to get good at, right? From a street self-defense situation, they really have to be modified so you don't tear up your legs. Often people, I've seen it happen so many times, a guy will go to his first tournament, he'll come out, the only technique he learned was a double leg. He shoots in, he gets guillotined. He goes, man, takedowns aren't for me, right? Because he didn't really practice the double leg correctly. And it takes a lot of commitment. What happens if I miss the single leg and double leg? What happens? I'm usually pancaked underneath. Now I'm trying to do sit-outs. I'm trying to wrestle up from those bad positions. And again, like I said, in a club, is this going to be a situation where I can just be out here, double leg? It's probably too crowded, right? So again, I think when people just learn how to get here as beginners and just do simple takedowns, it's a lot less stressful, and they find a lot more application to it. And again, from a fight perspective, you know, if you want to try to hit a high crotch into a single leg from here, it's a lot harder, right?
That's right.
Now, there are extreme pluses to it, right? Most people don't know how to defend when somebody goes for their legs, right? You know, you grab the legs and they try to, I don't know, body lock you or something. And unless you're Kyle Dake and know what you're doing, it's not going to work. You end up on your butt. And it's a powerful takedown. But again, like if you come in here, like what we did today, you collar tie me, you pull my leg forward, you try to knee tap me, right, and it doesn't work. Have you lost anything?
Nothing.
Okay, you go for a single leg or something, and then boom, I'm hipping out, and you're fighting from here now, and you're trying to finish. It's a lot of effort, right?
That's right.
Okay, so, and again, if I'm throwing punches, for you to duck under and slip for the double leg, it is something we teach. Is it easy? Right, what's a lot easier? I throw the punch, cover, get in, work from here, right? Yep. So, to me, kind of this is why you should prioritize the upper body, meaning head, arms, body clinches. When you first start learning takedowns, and again, most jiu-jitsu schools are going to show you double leg, single leg, right off the bat. And again, I think it teaches you not to learn how to close the distance, right? Big part of jiu-jitsu is what? Learning how to cover, close the distance, get in here, fight from here, take down. Honestly, it's going to give you a better skill set, and it's going to be safer and I think easier. Again, you know, if I have a woman who comes in here and she's 50 years old and she's a secretary and a house mother, are we going to be teaching her to hit the, you know, spin single treetop takedown?
No, not really.
Yeah, one day maybe, but
Yeah, not
it's
at
just
the
a lot easier for her to get here, body fold, and go from there. All right, so hopefully this will give you guys something to think about. Again, I'm not saying the way I do it is the right way or the wrong way. I just want to give you my reasons. You have to change your mindset, right? Don't think, okay, well, Gordon Ryan or, Ben Askren. Well, let's not use Ben Askren as a bad example because what happened with him. But let's say a good wrestler, Chad Mendez, he can duck under and shoot and take the guy down. So it's a perfectly legit technique. Yes, it is. It is. But how many of the people walking through my door are Chad Mendez? Right? Not. So I have to work for what the average person can do. And more importantly, what will make them not scared to practice. Right? How many of our guys of all the different ages, all the different sizes do takedowns? All of them, right?
All of them.
And they're not scared, right?
No.
And what's funny though is what happens when people come here from other places and what do they see? They see our guys really working a lot of this stuff and they're not used to that, right?
No, they're not used to
They're
that.
like, wait, what's going on? He's all over me and I can't break the hold.
Yeah.
Again, learn the double legs, learn the single legs, learn the free takedowns. But I'm a really big proponent of first learning to take down from here, then you can learn to take down from here, and then you can learn to take down from here, not the other way around.